Hey Vidas. Since I want to record only one video, also I need to edit them all, I'll just do it in one go. It might be a bit longer than actually cutting it up and saving a proper video, but it should be fine. Let's just go to tests in this case. I'm going to make a new particle system. Vidas tests. Not really a test, but meh. Okay, here we go. Let's do the, what's it called? The add long lines going outwards part. Let's say we have a mesh thing here. I'm gonna actually add mesh, and add a small circle thing here. Orb, do I have one? Oh, that's fine enough. Could have set some stuff up initially, but meh. And I only want to spawn one with an infinite lifetime. There. It also needs to loop only once, else it keeps spawning. And for this I need a simple yeah. Wait, I call them dots. Right, yeah. Dotsies, that should be fine. Okay, the expanding outward thingy. I'm gonna in this case create a sphere for simple explanations. Initial size might be a bit big, so there, and I'm also gonna set them as velocity. I don't need the initial velocity, I do need the sphere. Depending on the size of the explosion, you might need to change the radius of the sphere. Actually, let me show you here. There, this is the sphere at the moment. And you might need to have it bigger, you might need to have it smaller. In this case, I think 20 will be enough. I might change this for an actual sphere later, but okay. Let's spawn a few. It's going to be like a burst because it's an explosion, of course, so you want a burst. Let's spawn quite a few with this example. You can make GPU particles. It's an example, I don't have them. Then enable velocity. As you can see, it already starts kabooming. Make sure that does not spawn additionals. And let's make it uniform and increase the explosion effect. There. Still a bit slow, but I can change that a bit later. And let's get the size by speed. And create this. There we go. Let me disable the floor for a second. There. The initial size might be a bit big in this example, so okay, now we can actually tweak the velocity scale and get a better result until you have something that we like this. Maybe decrease the lifetime a bit, 0.3, 0.5. There. That effect, and maybe even longer depending on what you need, gives a way more oomphy feel when something explodes because there's this fast thing expanding. Obviously you can go quite high if you want to, like this. And that gives quite some velocity to it. Really like boom, expanding, you know? And that really helps sell an explosion. Okay, let's go to the stable growing in size vertex thingy. Sphere. Oh. I'm just gonna pick one, and in this case, let's get a simple material actually. Material simple for now because we only need to explain this one thing in initial case. There. You think that it picked the normal simple one first. Okay, there we go. There's multiple ways you can do it. Hey, I need to overwrite the material. Yes. Multiple ways you can do it. You could change the size over life. So it actually starts expanding and collapsing, like whatever, 0.1, starts normal size, and 0.2, you know the deal. And at 0.3 does this again. Lifetime should be 1. Let's do 2 actually for now. Something like this, but obviously not all the way to 0, like that. Just copy it. Wait, what? There. So it happens something like this. Copy the whole thing again. That makes it look a bit unstable, but well, you don't want to play with the whole size of overlife thing because that takes a lot of time. Obviously, you can still use size by life, but let's do something different. Let's go back to the material. Let's get a sign node. Actually, sign remap is easier. 2 values. Actually, 1 point. Let's do 2 for 1. And the other one should be like 0.5. There we go, and get the time. What else do we need to have? We want to probably multiply the time to make it a little bit faster. There we go. And the output of this will be like this. You can make it more chaotic with a variety of verbs and sign remapping, a few additional ones, but this should be fine. Let's see. Now if you plug this into the null position offset, so you can see the sphere is already wobbling a bit. So let's multiply that with a nice value of 10, maybe 20, 100. It's still a bit, it's not chaotic enough, so let's increase the time. Maybe a bit much. You get the point. There we go. This causes a bit of instability. Now, like I said, if you get an additional one, multiply this value by another, and lerp this like that, and you can go quite insane. It depends on how much you want to spend time, how much time you want to spend, and your calculations, that kind of stuff. 4.1 to make it a bit less repetitive. And now if I plug this in, you get a way more unstable one. Though you need tweaking of the values so that you're sure that it doesn't act like it does now. You might want to also clamp some values, yada yada yada. But for now, just this is fine. Okay. Let's save. And 1, 2, 3. As you can see, it's already being a bit weird. Need vertex normal world space to multiply that, because now it's moving way too much. That should solve some issues. Multiply by 100, maybe a bit much now. It is. Let's make it a bit less. I should do it in an instance because that's faster, but okay. It would be nice if I actually zoom out. What the hell's going on? Zoom out, computer. Zoom out. Wait, let me get to actually look at. Where's my floor? There we go. Now it works properly. The reason 4.11 sometimes has problems when there's no floor and you want to zoom in out. Anyways, as you can see, this is showing instability. Now, obviously, you don't want that the whole time. So you can actually multiply this with a dynamic parameter. Let's call it very originally instability. and the initial value should be 0 because she wanted to be a bit more stable at the beginning. There we go. And add the parameter here. Where's the parameter? Dynamic. Refresh the module. You always need to do this when you place one, because else the instability parameter name won't be visible. And let's do a constant curve here. And at about 0.5 of its lifetime, so if this lifetime is 2, at 1 second it will start. And at the end it will be quite chaotic. It should actually now start doing that. What's wrong with your lifetime? It's 2 seconds. Did I enable loops? Yes. Come on. This should work. Do it so many times. Then again, always when you want to do a tutorial, it doesn't work. Real time. There we go. For some reason, I accidentally disabled animation speed. As you can see, at the 1 second point, it's becoming unstable. Now, obviously, you want to have a bit more control than just that few seconds, but it depends a bit on what you need. So let's say this thing is slowly growing. No, not size by speed. I need size by life. And at the beginning it's really small, of course, and at the end of lifetime it grows. There we go, it's already getting a bit more chaotic. Now we can additionally also get a second parameter going. Do we need that? No, we just need to up this a little bit, I think. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board, and then about 0.5 it's the regular size. At 0.75 it's will start to shrink again. Get a bit too slow. That's 9. Still too slow. That's better. And now we add this to the mix, and you can have a burst multiple ways, but let's just add a delay of 2 seconds. And obviously I didn't loop this one. There. Starts to grow. Boom. Now let's do something else that I was missing with your initial charge up. Let's duplicate this, and let me reset all these things. The duration is fine, loops is fine, the delay should be 0. Let's invert whatever this sphere is doing. So I'm actually gonna disable the draw of this one. So I'm sure that I can see this one. Let's make this one a bit bigger, like 100. And let's go to about -5 to 0. So whenever it starts sucking, as you can see. Now let me disable this a bit, like 5 or so. And let's spawn $20. Actually, it should be way more. There. And additionally, you can have actually size by life. apply something really cool. So initially, the charge is not visible, the orbs that's charged in. But at 0.05 seconds, it's actually really, really big. And at 0.1 second, it's actually already the normal size again. I need another one. And at 1, it's invisible again. Now it's like the energy is suddenly created, gets charged, and it's dragging towards the center. Now 3 might be a bit too big in this case. Let's try. There we go. As you can see, it's like the energy is being charged. There's suddenly the energy pops in view. It gets sucked into the center. It's getting unstable, and boom. This really helps sell unstable and explosion kind of stuff. Now you can go even further and actually add like a ring. Let's see if I have one. I should have one. I think this is one. Jesus, combining shitload of shaders. Come on, compound. Ah, yeah, that's a ring. Definitely a ring. I only want one at a burst moment. So there, the color is obviously wrong. Let's get something orangey going. Scale, color scale, where is it? There. Alright, apparently this one doesn't change color. No, I need another ring. Okay, I'll find one. Holo rings, yada yada, hexafield. I have so many rings. Basic ring should do it. Yeah. Alright. I only want to spawn one. It needs to loop, and the delay should be about 2 seconds. Okay, and then we do a size by life again, but a totally different way. It needs to be very small at the beginning. It needs to grow really fast and then fade out. So let's do 0.05 maybe. And then at the end it should be 0 again. The other way around. It should actually already fade out before it does that. But what do you think? Let's try actually just one, make the initial size bigger. And extremely decrease the lifetime. A bit more. And then just tweak until you have something that works. This is not the best ring, but you get the idea. Additionally, a Fresnel and the refraction sphere around it that expands also helps. What else? I need a new mesh data. What's it called? Oh shit. Ignore the flashing for a second. I wish the initial settings of this were different because this is always so bothersome. I wanted to overwrite the material. I probably need to find it here. Well, impact, there we go. I can actually show you. This is quite a complicated material that uses RGB channels, whatever, and it basically looks like this. So it's explosion spikes, basically. And the size by left should be always the same as the circle. And it should be spawned at the last second. Lifetime obviously should be way shorter, like 0.3. The initial size should be way bigger. And the size by life should be about 0.8, I think. And then another one that decreases again. Should only be for a millisecond. Still a bit too big though, but that's tweaking. There. Zzz, boom. And let's do one last thing because I'm totally into it. Let's get a lerp going, and normally this is just white, and the another one will be totally glowish red. Okay, let's multiply this like with a nice value of 50, I have no idea. There. And get another parameter going, calling. Oh wait, color shift. There. Should start at 0. Come on. You are on SSD. Save. Jesus. Okay. And let's get back to the parameter thingy. Where is it? There. And let's refresh it again. Color shift is now available. Let's do a constant curve. Needs to start at white, ends at orange. Should stay white until about half of this lifetime. And about there it should come orange. Boom. That's even more stable, as you can see. Let's actually up it a little bit. See if we can get it a little further. There. As you can see, the more you add to it, the more chaotic it feels. And that will really help sell the explosion. And the more additional particles you add, the better, of course. I mean, actually, delete this one. Duplicate this one. Make it a GPU particle. Oh, I got the wrong sphere one. There. And required. More particles. Whee! Those might actually be a bit bigger. That's all, and then whatever you want. Okay, enough explaining. I'm just totally playing now. This should be way more than enough, and I actually hope that I'm recording this. Yes, I was. Jesus, 24 minutes. Apologies for that, but I hope you got some inspiration out of this. Take care, man.